Welcome into Storytime with the Common Dad. Tonight we are reading the story of the Three Bears. If you have a copy, go ahead and grab one so you can follow along. There were once three bears who lived together in a little house in the middle of the wood. One of them was a little small wee bear, and one was a middle-sized bear, and the other was a great huge bear. And they each had a pot to eat their porridge from, a little pot for the little small wee bear, a middle-sized pot for the middle-sized bear, and a great big pot for the great huge bear. And they each had a chair to sit on, a little chair for the little small wee bear, a middle-sized chair for the middle-sized bear, and a great big chair for the great huge bear. And they each had a bed to sleep in, a little bed for the little small wee bear, a middle-sized bed for the middle-sized bear, and a great big bed for the great huge bear. One day they made porridge for breakfast and poured it into their porridge pots, and then went out in the woods for a walk while their porridge cooled for breakfast. And while they were out walking, a little old woman came to the house out of the woods and peeped inside. First she peeped through the keyhole, then she peeped through the window, then she lifted the latch and peeped through the doorway. And seeing nobody in the house, she walked in. And when she saw the porridge cooling on the table, she was very pleased, for she had been walking a long way and was getting hungry. So first she tasted the porridge of the great huge bear, but that was too hot. Then she tasted the porridge from the middle-sized bear, but that was too cold. And then she tasted the porridge from the little small wee bear, and that was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. And she liked it so much that she ate it all up. Then the little old woman sat down in the chair of the great huge bear, but that was too hard. Then she sat down in the chair of the middle-sized bear, but that was too soft. Then she sat down in the chair of the little small wee bear, and that was neither too hard nor too soft, but just right. And she liked it so much that she sat in it until suddenly the bottom fell out, and she fell down on the ground. Then the little old woman went upstairs into the bedroom where the three bears slept. And first she lay down on the bed of the great huge bear, but that was too high at the head for her. Then she lay down on the bed of the middle-sized bear, but that was too high at the foot for her. So then she lay down on the bed of the little small wee bear, and that was neither too high at the head nor too high at the foot, but just right. And she liked it so much that she covered herself up and lay there until she fell asleep. By then, the three bears had come home for their breakfast. Now, the little old woman had left the spoon of the great huge bear standing in its porridge pot. "Somebody's been at my porridge," said the great huge bear in his great rough, gruff voice. And when the middle-sized bear looked, she saw the spoon was standing in the porridge pot too. "Somebody's been eating at my porridge," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. Then the little small wee bear looked, and there was a spoon in his porridge pot, but the porridge was all gone. "Somebody's been eating my porridge, and it's eaten all up," said the little small wee bear in his little small wee voice. Then the three bears began to look around. Now, the little old woman had not put the hard cushion straight after she sat in the chair of the great huge bear. "Somebody's been sitting in my chair," said the great huge bear in his great rough, gruff voice. And the little old woman had squashed the soft cushion of the middle-sized bear. "Somebody's been sitting in my chair," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. And you know what the little old woman had done to the third chair? "Somebody has been sitting in my chair, and it's sat the bottom out," said the little small wee bear in his little small wee voice. Then the three bears went upstairs into the bedroom. Now, the little old woman had pulled the pillow of the great huge bear out of its place. "Somebody's been lying in my bed," said the great huge bear in his great rough, gruff voice. And the little old woman had pulled the bolster of the middle-sized bear out of its place. "Somebody's been lying in my bed," said the middle-sized bear in her middle-sized voice. And when the little small wee bear came to look at his bed, there was a bolster in its place and a pillow in its place upon the bolster, and upon the pillow was the little old woman's head, which was not in its place, for she had no business there at all. "Somebody's been laying in my bed, and she's still there!" cried the little small wee bear in his little small wee voice. The little old woman had heard in her sleep the great rough gruff voice of the great huge bear, but she was fast asleep that it seemed to be no more than a roaring of the wind or the rumbling of thunder. And she had heard the middle-sized voice of the middle-sized bear, but it was only as if she had heard someone speaking in a dream. But when she heard the little small wee voice of the little small wee bear, it was so sharp and so shrill that it woke her up at once. Up she started, and when she saw the three bears on one side of the bed, she tumbled out the other, jumped out the window, and ran through the woods to her own home, and the three bears never saw her again. The end. Thank you guys so much for reading along with me. I hope you had as much fun as I did. Don't forget to ask your parents first, like and subscribe to the channel so every time we share a new story, you get a notification. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time.